What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. UFC Fight Night Barboza versus Murphy just took place. I'm going to go through the entire card, starting with the main event, ending with the prelims. Normally I'd do it the other way around, but I'm going to start with the main event, go all the way down the card, talk about every single fight, talk about how I did on picks, and yeah, I might talk about who should be next for some of the fighters too, because I'm probably not going to do a next fights to make video, just because there's not that many interesting fighters on the card. But yeah, let's move to the main event. So in the main event, Lerone Murphy beat Edson Barboza by unanimous decision. A very dominant performance, 50-45 on two scorecards, 149-46. Now in this fight, it was just the cleaner boxing of Lerone Murphy that got it done. He was just way better on the feet. Like in the boxing, he was way better. Barboza had success when he threw kicks. He didn't throw that many of them because, Lerone Murphy he must have saw the success that Sadiq Yusuff had in round one when he just pressured Barboza, and he just kept on the front foot, and it's really easy to cut off the kicks and the knees and the timing of Edson Barboza if you just pressure him backwards and don't run in, or if you give him range and sit on the outside, he's going to win and he'll be able to just spam body kicks and do all that. But Lerone Murphy did a really good job of pressuring him backwards. He walked him down. I'm actually going to get the stats up now because it was a really impressive performance. Now look, Barboza, did he look great? No. So I don't think... This is weird because we saw Lerone Murphy winning in the first few rounds, and I thought we might see a sort of comeback performance like we did against Sadiq Yusuff. But Lerone Murphy landed 259 strikes, 220 of them significant. Really impressive stuff. 4 out of 6 takedowns. A massive strike differential against Edson Barboza. Really impressive performance, honestly. In the first round, he actually got rocked badly and looked like he almost got flash KO'd by an up kick in the last 10 seconds. So that was the one round that a judge gave to Barboza, because you could argue that, he got knocked down or something. But apart from that, it was pretty much all Lerone Murphy. Barboza landed some good leg kicks, some good body kicks. But even Lerone Murphy was landing good kicks. He was landing the spinning back kick a lot. And then when he took Barboza down, Barboza would get back up, but he didn't really have a lot of success. He would land some ground and pound. He was close-ish to a rear naked choke at one point. But no, it was mostly just Edson Barboza not being able to get past the range of... Well, not being able to get past the straight punches of Lerone Murphy, and Murphy was just beating him to the punch. He was way quicker. And even though I did pick Barboza and I got this fight wrong, it's something that you can kind of see in his game. Against Sadiq Yusuff, I was worried that Murphy would just do what Sadiq Yusuff did, just pressuring him, cut him off. And it's what Barboza always does. When he starts getting cracked and when you're walking him down, he starts trying to reach and throw knees in the pocket when you're walking him down, and it's really easy to just stay out of the way of those, and just keep the pressure on with the punches and not be shitty defense, and then you can just whoop his ass if you stay on the front foot. He's a guy that really relies on having range. He does not fight well off the back foot. He got he gets the occasional knee, against Billy Quarantillo, but that was Billy telegraphed a takedown. When you're pressuring him on the feet and actually in the striking and just boxing, putting jabs in his face, he just gets crowded. He's not as quick as you usually. He wasn't as quick as Sadiq Yusuff, wasn't as quick as Lerone Murphy. Both of them just beat him to the punch and just jabbed and crossed his face off. And yeah, I forget which round it was, but I think it was the third or fourth. He got beaten up badly, rocked, or maybe it was the second. It was one of the middle rounds. He got beat up badly and almost finished, standing TKO kind of thing. But yeah, Barboza really wasn't able to get much going, didn't throw that many kicks. I would have liked to see him throw more, but again, when you're on the back foot, it's a lot harder to time kicks better. You need the range to be able to go bap, switch kick, or time the spinning back kick. It's hard to throw shit. It's never as accurate or never as powerful when you're throwing it on the back foot with the kicks. So yeah, good win from Lerone Murphy. They got fight of the night, well deserved, great fight, great scrap, just high level stuff. Lerone Murphy looked better than he's ever looked, to be honest, because I was going into this, I was kind of MMA mathing it too much, and I was he didn't look that good against Gabriel Santos or Culibao, but guys level up. That's what you kind of got to consider with these undefeated younger prospects, is they are going to level up their game, they are going to get better, and also Barboza's only getting older. Took a bunch of damage in the Yusuff fight. Even though he won that, you got to imagine, with every fight, he's going downhill a little bit. So yeah, it's tough to see for Barboza. I like him a lot as a fighter. I wanted him to win. I picked him to win, but no, Murphy got it done. And even though I was confused by the odds originally with Murphy as a favourite, I was why is Murphy a favourite? he showed that tonight. He showed that he arguably should have been a bigger favourite. But let's move on to the co-main event. Next up was Carlston Harris versus Chaos Williams. Chaos Williams won by KO in the first round. I didn't catch all of this fight, but I did see the finish. It was a big right hand, kind of looping shot as Carlston Harris came in, and he sort of dropped him. Not KO'd fully, but pretty much out. It was a KO. He followed up with a few shots, but the ref called it pretty much immediately. So good win for Chaos Williams. I got this one wrong too, so I ended the card badly because I was doing pretty well on picks apart from some flukiness early on. But then, yeah, I ended the card 0-2 for the main and co-main. So that was rough. But good win from Chaos Williams. He had a solid post-fight interview as well. Big KO against Carlston Harris, who I don't know why I wasn't confident in picking him, but I was like, I don't know, I think he's got a better grappling style. He can take him down, he'll beat him up on the ground or sub him. Like Chaos Williams looked shit against Rolando Bedoya. Sometimes I'm going to start doing this now in picks. Stop looking like, oh, they didn't look that good in this fight or this fight. Just think they're going to be getting better, and overall their game is like, what's Harris's game? It's like grappling. His striking's very mid. He doesn't have that much power. What's Williams' game? Just big power shots, strong dude. So even if, like, with the unranked fighters, it's kind of hard to just resume cope or, like, to look at resumes and be like, oh, this guy didn't look that good here. Because they are going to be getting better, and they do just have the capability to win by KO. Guys like Chaos Williams, which is what he did, and he got a bonus too, so good job to him. Let's move on, though, up the card, or down the card. Themba Gorimbu Magumbu. I'm joking, but he won 30-27. It was a really boring fight. He just grappled a whole bunch against Ramesh Brahamaj. Really nothing crazy happened. There was no moment at all of anything like really interesting. I zoned out heavily during this fight. Just a lot of grappling. Brahamaj would try and hit like a throw or something, and then Gorimbo would just use his weight better and end up on top. But yeah, he just was on top for a lot of this fight. A lot of clinch control, a lot of on the ground, lay and pray, a lot of camping. They set up the tents here. There was a whole lot of camping going on. But yeah, boring fight. Gorimbo had a solid post-fight interview. He acknowledged it was boring, which is good. He's like, sorry, I wanted to put on an impressive performance, and that's what he kind of sounded like in his post-fight interview, respectfully. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. It's a good accent. But let's move on, though, down the card. Adrian Gimenez versus Vinicius Salvador. I picked Gimenez to win pretty easily. It was a layup fight here, let's be honest. He got a layup. He got a pretty much free win handed to him on the platter, and he took it. He won by first round TKO. This referee wanted to see someone fucking die, because even though Dominic Cruz might have said, great job by the referee to let this guy keep going and see if he can defend himself, and then 2 seconds later, the fight gets stopped, and Salvador's fucking lying there for the next 2 minutes, like unable to get up. He wasn't like out cold, but he just couldn't move. So yeah, definitely a bit of a late stoppage, but a great win from Gimenez. He got cracked a couple times, but no, he just looked better in the striking. That's what he was always going to do. He said he wanted to win on the scorecards, and he wanted to get like all 10-8 rounds and beat him up. But no, Salvador's kind of shit. He cracked him over the top with a big right hand, I think it was, and put him down, and then a whole lot of ground and pound that was probably unnecessary, or super necessary, if you ask Jorge Masvidal. But let's move on down the card. Angela Hill versus Luana Panero. I picked Angela Hill to win by decision. I thought she would just be a bit more like, women's MMA successful, like just more clinching against the cage, more takedowns, more jabs at range, all the classic women's MMA stuff. But no, she actually won by submission. She won the first round pretty clearly, got on top for a fair portion of it, was doing better on the feet, I would say. I zoned out during this fight because this was when the Fury-Usyk fight was on, so I really wasn't paying much attention to this. But I did see the submission because I'm pretty sure it happened like right after the Fury fight, the submission. After the scorecards was read, I think it was actually when this submission happened. But she got a guillotine. She pulled Gilly on bottom, and then sort of, I guess Panero tried to escape or something and turn over, ended up on top, and then she just subbed her. So good win from Angela Hill. She also got a bonus, so fair play to her, doing women's MMA things. Apparently she called out Jessica Andrade or something. I didn't watch the interview, but yeah, apparently she called out Jessica Andrade. So good job to Angela Hill. Let's move on though down the card to the prelims. Tom Nolan versus Victor Martinez. Now this was an interesting fight. Again, similar to the Gimenez fight, this was a layup. This was a free win pretty much given to the guy. And he took it, he won, but he did actually have some trouble. And I think Tom Nolan has an awful chin. That's what I've picked up from him. I think he's going to be a chinny fighter moving forward, and we are going to see him get KO'd a couple times if he's unable to just keep the fight at range. He is a great striker, but I think his chin is a bit iffy, and sometimes he forgets that he's literally got a fucking 10-inch reach advantage and lets people get in the pocket and crack him. That's how he lost his debut. But in this fight, he did get rocked and kind of dropped a bit off balance in the first round, but he then went on to got a knee to the body of Victor Martinez, and then which he sort of shot into a takedown. Like, he kind of dropped it, and then he just turned him over and then threw a bunch of ground and pound because Martinez was hurt to the body, so unable to fight back. Good timing on the knee, but again, I'm not, like, this is a good performance, but Victor Martinez is awful, and I'm just not sold that Tom Nolan's going to be able to just impose his will and stuff, because I think if people can just get in the pocket with this guy and crack him, he gets wobbled and he gets dropped a lot. So yeah, Tom Nolan, I like him, he's Australian. Have him fight on 305 in Perth, definitely. But don't give this guy big power punches for the moment. Let him kind of get some more comfort. Let him figure himself out in the octagon, because he's relatively inexperienced with his record, and he doesn't seem like he's fully like across all the defense stuff and, you know, being able to take shots. Let's move on though. Omar Sy versus Tuco Tokos. I picked Omar Sy to win. This was a short notice fight. It was pretty comfortable. Like, this is an easy fight to predict. Sy, undefeated guy, moves to 10-0. Tokos is a guy that's lost. He got chinned by Zhang Ming Yang on Road to UFC, if you saw that highlight. But yeah, Tokos came in on like 2 days notice or 3 days. So fair play to him. He actually made the weight and showed up, but he was always going to lose. I did not know much about Sy. I looked at his record. He's got some finishes. He's kind of got an even split of like KOs, submissions, decisions. I'm actually going to get it up now. But I was like, oh, he might get a TKO because I've seen Tukos fight and he got chinned before. So I was like, oh, he's going to look kind of shit. But he grappled. I didn't know he was a grappler, I'll be completely honest. He's got 4 KOs, 4 submissions, and 2 decisions. Because his last fight he won by TKO. And he hasn't even gone through the regional scene. Oh no, it's through Contender Series. He fought on KSW a little bit. But yeah, this guy's good. He's French fighter, so you would assume he's just got the flashy striking. And he's going to be the Cyril Gane type. Or the, like the fucking, what's his name? William Gomis type, or one of these guys, these rangy, like, French kickboxing strikers. But no, this guy's got grappling too, so I actually think he's going to be a problem for the light heavyweights. He's 6'4", and he's got a 63-inch reach at light heavyweight. This guy could cause a lot of people problems, because I think his grappling is really good. Not to say Tuco Tokos is any good. His name's George Tokos, by the way. That's just Tuco's his nickname. But not to say that Tokos is any good, but he completely dominated him. Tokos didn't land a punch, I swear to God. Let me actually get the fight up right now. I'm pretty sure Tukos did not land anything. He just got taken down immediately and just had his way with him on the ground. Okay, never mind. There was 4 total strikes landed by Tokos. 3 of them were considered significant. Those were probably just a few jabs on the feet. But yeah, he got the rear naked choke. He got to the body triangle and just controlled him on the ground. Tokos really couldn't get up. Anytime he tried to get up, he just got taken down again, or he got his back, or any of this stuff. So I'm actually pretty high on Omar Sy, because I didn't know much about him before this, but get this man on the Paris card, and get him, no top 15 opponents yet, of course, but I do think this guy has potential to be a top 15 guy in a couple of years. He's 28 too, so lots to come, and at light heavyweight, that's promising. Let's move on, though, to the next fight. Melissa Gato versus Tamirez Vidal. This one was interesting. We saw a TKO via tit punch. Melissa Gato punched Tamirez Vidal in the boob and got a TKO win in, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd round, I believe. She was easily winning the fight on the ground, dominating her in the grappling. But then they're in the striking. She lands like a just jab to the boob of Tamirez Vidal, and she looks at the ref, holds her tit, and says, "No, I'm done." And the ref's like, "Okay, fight's over. It's not an illegal strike. You're not a dude. She didn't kick you in the nuts." Yeah, it was literally just a jab to the breast of fucking Tamirez Vidal, and she got finished. So fair play, Melissa Gato. Haven't seen that one in a while. I don't think I've ever seen that. But good win from Gato. She was easily winning before, so it wasn't like a fluky comeback win. She was dominating, and then she just got a weird finish. Let's move down the card. Abbas Magomedov, the GOAT. No, he's not the GOAT, but he won. He got his first UFC victory, dominant decision, 30-27. Maybe there was a 30-26 in there, because he was beating up Wally Alves pretty badly. I think it was 30-26 from Abbas across the board. But yeah, he went 6 of 7 on takedowns. For once, he's actually got some grappling. That's good to see. He remembered that his last name was Magomedov, and he decided to shoot a double leg. But he landed a lot of ground and pound, not much significance there. Like, he landed some good elbows, he cut all the elbows open. But yeah, it was pretty much all grappling in this fight, to be honest. On the feet, he was landing some good front kicks. He's got a good push kick to the body and stuff like that. He's actually not a bad fighter, but this time he didn't just completely gas. So I guess he needs to just make sure he imposes his will and not let the other guy get on the front foot or get any momentum. And also, in fairness, he lost to Sean Strickland, the number one guy and former champion, who in his next fight after beating Abbas won the belt, and then he lost to Caio Borralho by decision. So let's not act like this guy's losing to Cans. It's similar sort of to like the Bogdan Gusko situation. Comes in debut, loses to Volkan. So we're like, okay, he's not a top 10 guy. But then his next win, he fights an absolute bum and wins. So we're like, okay, he's somewhere between top 10 and bum level. And that's the same thing with Abbas. I do think, not saying he's a top 15 guy, but he's got skills, he's got grappling as well, which he can use, and I'd like to see him use it moving forward. And he actually looked pretty solid in the grappling here. So good job, Abbas. Gets his first victory in the UFC. And I want to see him maybe get him on the France card. Because the last time he fought there, he actually won by like TKO in like 20 seconds. So yeah, he's from Germany. Germany's very close to France if you guys don't know anything about geography. But yeah, put him on there against someone outside the rankings, of course. But I think there is potential for Abbas to get some more wins and not be a complete bum. Like, he could be like a just outside the top 15 kind of guy. Let's move on, though, up the card, or down the card. Next fight was Piero Rodriguez versus Ariane Carosi. I picked Rodriguez, and on my record, I will put this as a loss, because otherwise it's hard to keep track of if I actually got the pick right. But let's be honest, I was correct. Everyone picked Rodriguez. Everyone was correct. She clearly was just dominating the fight. She almost finished her. And then for some reason, because she's retarded, got herself DQ'd by headbutting Ariane Carosi. And it was literally the most pussy headbutt ever. Wasn't even like a massive headbutt. And then Carosi was getting dominated the whole fight. She did the Aljo. This was arguably worse than Aljo, though, because Aljo's at least you're like, he got flush fucking full-blown knee in the face. This was like a glancing headbutt to like the chin. Not saying it was good, it definitely was intentional and a bad strike, but she had like 5 minutes to recover. She took 4 of them and then just decided, she stood up, looked like she put her mouth guard back in, and then just sat back down again, turned away and left before the decision got read. She knows she's a bitch. She knows she took the coward's way out of the fight. Let's be honest. Rodriguez even said as much. Go check out her Instagram, Kinda Based, from Piero Rodriguez. She said, I would rather lose a fight because I did something dumb than win a fight via taking the coward's way out or something like that. So, Based Piero Rodriguez, put a W and then do a Venezuelan flag. I think that's her country. Do W Venezuela in the comments if you made it this far in the video, because Piero Rodriguez ain't taking no shit, even though she shouldn't have fucking headbutted her. But whatever. Let's move on though down the card. Alatong Hale versus Clayton Rodriguez. I picked Alatong Hale to win comfortably by decision was my call, and he got it done by 30-27 decision. I think there was maybe a 29-28 there. But yeah, it was grappling. I said, because I saw Lucas Tracy was picking Rodriguez and saying Haley's got no output on the feet. So, because yeah, he doesn't normally stand in fights. He's not a striker. He's got good takedowns. He's either a KO guy that'll catch you, or he'll just grapple, and that's what he did here. Got a bunch of takedowns, easily beat up, just took care of Rodriguez on the ground. Rodriguez landed some decent shots on the feet, but I'm sorry, I ain't gonna pick someone whose best win and known, whose best sort of highlight is KOing Shannon Ross with a spinning ass kick to the fucking face. It's Shannon Ross. I'm not going to be impressed by that. So yeah, good job, Alatong Hale. Got that underdog call right. Unfortunately, I didn't get my other underdog calls right of Barboza and Carlston Harris. But yeah, this was a good fight. Not a good fight. It was alright. There was moments of decentness. But yeah, a lot of grappling. Let's move on though down the card. Vanessa Demopulos versus Emily Dakot. I picked Dakot to win. She was a big favourite. I thought she got it done, but she lost a split decision. I went back and kind of sped through this fight. I thought it was pretty clearly 2-1, 2 rounds to 1. Both of them, fair play. Demopulos did kind of try and impose her will, did push forward, and I guess in women's MMA, it's hard for them to actually know how much damage is taking place. But on MMA decisions, only 2 people scored it for Demopulos, so that should give you an idea. And the split decisions, one judge had it, I think one, I actually want to get this up. One judge had 2-1, it was a split, of course, but let me get this up, because I think one judge had the first for Demopulos, for Dakot, and then one had the third. So it's it was clearly debatable that she won, but I think all rounds were close enough. Some people had a 30-27 for Dakot, which was fair enough. But Derek Cleary's the guy that scored it for Dakot. That's what I agreed with. But let me see, yeah. So Derek Cleary scored it 2-1 for Dakot, the first and third. Sal Diamato scored it 2-1 for Demopulos, but had the second for Dakot. And then Ron McCarthy scored the third for Dakot, and he had it for Demopulos. So it's like, it was debatable to go either way, but whatever. I got the fight wrong. Women's MMA is gonna women's MMA. But that was the card done, guys. I went 8-4 on picks. Probably could have easily been 10-2 if the DQ hadn't happened, which was dumb, and then if that split decision that I just talked about had gone the right way, in my opinion. But the other two fights were fair game. But yeah, that's the card, guys. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Peace out.